Sasuke Uchiha is one of Naruto's most popular characters, but despite the fact that Sasuke is as popular as he is, there's actually a lot about Sasuke's character that you might not know if you're only someone who has watched the Naruto Shippuden animes and the Boruto anime. Here are 15 things about Sasuke Uchiha that you likely don't know, and if we can hit 3,000 likes within 1 week of uploading, I'll make 15 things about Naruto Uzumaki. Number 1, did you know that Sasuke actually admitted the moment that he fell in love with Sakura Haruno, but it wasn't adapted into the Naruto Shippuden anime? If you'll recall, following the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War and all the battles that took place, Naruto Shippuden adapted some of the stories that take place between Naruto chapters 699 and chapter 700, but noticeably absent was the adaptation of the Akatsuki Hiden story, which deals with Sasuke ending his redemption journey, and it's in this story that Sasuke reveals two major bombshells. The first was the fact that he was in love with Sakura in that very moment, and as he was walking towards the land of fire towards Konoha, he refers to Sakura in that story as being someone who, no matter how many times he pushed her away, no matter how hard and how cold he was towards her, she remained loyal to him, and she was his, quote, spring sunlight to my freezing heart, end quote. And he's thinking back to all the reasons that he gave her to not love him. The fact that she continued to stay there for him is what eventually won him over completely, which brings me to my next fact. Number 2, did you know that in that same story, Sasuke reveals that by the time he left the Hidden Leaf Village all the way back in Naruto Part 1, it hurt him to do so because he knew he was beginning to develop feelings for Sakura. However, due to how focused he was on killing Itachi and avenging his clan, Sasuke couldn't remain back in Konoha. This explains why Sasuke smiled so softly at her before knocking her unconscious and taking the time to set her on that bench. Sasuke admits that this moment filled him with guilt over the years, and he tried consistently to bury it down deep inside, but even during the times where he tried to bring himself to kill her, Sasuke was unable to do so, which should make that moment where in the manga Sasuke's foot shakes as he hesitates before he places her under Genjutsu right before he fights Naruto. That should make that scene make more sense to you now. Number 3, did you know that the scene that was cut from the Naruto Shippuden anime adaptation of Sasuke's story of Sunrise actually has Sasuke in a moment where he thinks to himself about the words that Tobirama told him during the Fourth Ninja War about the Uchiha clan? Those two moments stayed with Sasuke a full 2.5 years after the Fourth Ninja War. In particular, Tobirama's warning that the Uchiha clan, due to how much they love, they're more prone to falling into madness if they ever lose love. Sasuke refers to it as having a cursed blood of the Uchiha that he needs to get a better understanding of before he goes back into Konoha, which was another part of the reason he was on that redemption journey. It wasn't just trying to find answers of what it means to be a shinobi, but also that strong self-reflection on who Sasuke was himself and why it was he deserved redemption. Sasuke at this point in time, before he battles Chino, the woman behind the exploding human saga, is worried that if anything were to ever happen to Naruto, he would not be able to stop himself from falling into that darkness, and even more so if something happened to someone like Sakura who he loved and there was no Naruto there to stop him. Sasuke vows to conquer those feelings of hopelessness on his own so that he can feel like he earned that second chance that Naruto and Kakashi gave him by getting him pardoned. Number 4, did you know that the person who Sasuke wanted to fight the most wasn't actually Naruto? While the Chunin exams in Naruto's manga had Sasuke declare that Naruto is the one he was most looking forward to battling, Sasuke actually had 2 people who he wanted to fight more than anyone else according to the Naruto databooks. The first and the second Naruto databook reveals that Sasuke wanted to fight Itachi the most, which was for obvious reason. The guy slaughtered his entire clan. However, in Naruto databook 3, we learned that Sasuke had his sights set even higher than Itachi, and they were a lot more ambitious because he no longer wanted to fight Itachi the most. He had been there and done that. Instead, he wanted to fight all the higher ranked shinobi from Konoha at that point in time. So Naruto Databook 3, for those of you guys who don't know, would cover the events of Naruto Volume 28 all the way to Volume 43. So the Kazekage rescue arc all the way up until the moment that Sasuke awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan. So this means that Sasuke at that point in time wanted to fight Tsunade, the 5th Hokage, Danzo and the elders, elite Jonin in Konoha like Kakashi, Might Guy, and dig up the bones of Asuma and fight Asuma too. Even more interesting, wanting to fight the upper echelon of Konoha is something that he shares with Madara, who we learned in Naruto Databook 4 also wanted to fight all the elite Konoha shinobi. Number 5, did you know that Sasuke's original design was something that ended up being more complicated than we were originally going to get? We learned in an older interview by Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto that the original design for Sasuke was going to have more piercings and necklaces and bands on his clothes. Basically something super detailed, but as he was going through the designs, it dawned on him that this design would be way too detailed for afford drawing a weekly manga, and so he simplified it. Number 6, did you know that Sasuke was a character that Masashi Kishimoto's first editor, Yahigi, had to push him to include in the main story? I know it's hard to believe that the story of Naruto almost didn't have Sasuke Uchiha in it, but after chapter 1 came out and we saw Sasuke sitting in the manga right behind Naruto in page 13 of the first chapter, which for reference, they had no interaction in that chapter, Sasuke was only going to be a background character. However, Yahigi reveals that in the Kobayashi interview that was done with Masashi Kishimoto, that he pushed for Sasuke and Sakura to be drawn for the purposes of Sasuke serving as the main rival and Sakura being inserted as a heroine for a love triangle, something that Masashi Kishimoto admits he was initially against, but Yahigi won him over and he was glad that he did so, which is ultimately how he got the Team 7 that we know and love today. Number 7, did you know that Sasuke almost wasn't Boruto Sensei? This might be hard to imagine if you're watching this as a Boruto fan, but Sasuke almost wasn't Boruto Sensei. When Kishimoto was co-writing Boruto the movie, we learned in an interview done in 2015 with Kishimoto, the Boruto movie director, and Ukyo Kodachi, the man who was co-writing the Boruto movie alongside Kishimoto and would eventually be the lead writer for Boruto's anime and most of Boruto's manga until Baryon mode. We learned that in the initial drafts that Kishimoto had, there was no intention of making Sasuke Boruto Sensei. However, as they were brainstorming ideas and looking over the script, Kishimoto made the change because he felt bad that Sasuke got so little screen time during the events of Naruto the Last, and he wanted to make it up to the Sasuke fans, as well as recreate the dynamic from Dragon Ball, which heavily inspired the Naruto manga. In Dragon Ball, you had Gohan and Piccolo, where a former rival who tried to kill that said rival, i.e. Piccolo trying to kill Goku, ended up training the son of the former rival, i.e. Piccolo trained Gohan the same way that Sasuke tried to kill Naruto and ended up training Naruto's son Boruto. Number 8, did you know that Sasuke in the time after the 4th Great Ninja War, as he began training his Rinnegan, actually came really close to recreating the Kekkei Genkai such as Ice Release? In the Boruto animes, it's referred to as Sasuke's super cooling water mist, but when we look at the story Sasuke Shinen, the teacher's star pupil, we learn that Sasuke has almost nailed simultaneously using water release and wind release to produce ice. At one point, he's freezing the flames on a train that is on fire and even freezing an entire chunk of the ocean in order to save Boruto during a training mission with Team 7. We see Sasuke make an ice release dagger in the manga version of Sasuke Retsuden, which we know is ice release because in the original story that the manga adapted, it tells us that it was an ice release dagger. However, Sasuke does not use it in battle because he says it's not complete and not trustworthy to use in battle, and it's inferior to Haku's ice release in terms of quality, but to the naked eye, it looks like true ice release, but Sasuke knows the difference. Number 9, did you know that before settling on the design that Sasuke has that we saw during the early parts of Shippuden, Masashi Kishimoto went through several scrap versions of this design before settling on the one that we got. We learned in Naruto Databook 3 that Kishimoto's first design had more of a military vibe for it. This Sasuke had thicker black boots and a white collar and a large white coat on top of it with glove sleeves. The second design is a black version of this, but this one added the purple belt that Orochimaru in the Sound 4 wore across their waist. Interestingly enough, if you look at the Infinite Tsukiyomi filler arc where Sasuke is shown as a member of the Uchiha clan's police department, if you take off the Uchiha clan badge crest and you add the white gloves to Sasuke's outfit and you remove the black police vest, you basically got Sasuke's scrap time skip design, so at least one of these outfits didn't go to waste. Number 10, did you know that Sasuke, while he might have graduated at the top of this class in the academy, Sasuke actually was consistently getting an F in one subject upon the graduation? It's kind of hard to imagine that Sasuke might have failed at anything, but according to the official Naruto fan book, which is the first of 2 fan books, not data books, we learned that Sasuke got an F consistently in the area of cooperation. This fan book also features things like supplemental drawings and fan art that was submitted by fans that was picked by Masashi Kishimoto and has been translated into English for those of you guys who are interested in buying it. Now at number 11, this really should have been number 1, but I decided to save it for later on. Did you know that the photo that pops up every few years of people saying that this is Team 7's original design, where we see Naruto with a pipe in his mouth and Sasuke with a purple scarf and Sakura with the crop top and jewelry and all these bangs? Did you know that despite what we're told on the internet every few years when this picture resurfaces, this is actually not the original design for Team 7? This artwork originated from the aforementioned first Naruto fan book as a pull-out poster that you get when you purchase the fan book. I understand why many people would actually fall for this, just given the fact that most people aren't aware that Sasuke and Sakura being a part of Team 7 on Naruto's team wasn't even considered until after the first Naruto pilot chapter came out, which has never been animated due to the fact that the story is different from the events of Naruto chapter 1. But by that point in time, Naruto's design was already set for the pilot, and Sasuke and Sakura, they weren't even concepts yet by the time that pilot came out. At number 12, did you know that there's actually a female version of Sasuke? In the one-shot manga that Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto called Mario, that came out way back in 2013, we have a look at what an adult character who looks a lot like adult Naruto looks like, and a female character with long black hair that looks like a female version of Sasuke. The one-shot story was a story about a half Japanese and half Italian hitman who meets a stubborn woman who he has to talk to, and this woman in particular does not like talking to men, and these two have to work together. This one-shot didn't run in Weekly Shonen Jump, but instead it ran in Jump Square, which is where Rurouni Kenshin's sequel, the Rurouni Kenshin Hokkaido arc, is currently running. But this was Masashi Kishimoto's attempt at an action and romance story that, had it been picked up, actually would have been a monthly release. Number 13, did you know that Naruto the Last actually caused quite a bit of controversy back in the day when it came out, and a lot of that controversy settled around Sasuke Uchiha? Well, for those of you guys who are unaware, Naruto the Last was announced at Jump Festa 2013, so this would have been December 2012, which during this time, Toby had just been announced as being Obito. And this was leading up to all the battles with Madara and Kaguya. We started getting a look at the characters from Naruto the Last in 2014. First, it was a teaser of a 19-year-old Naruto, but in the promotion for the movie, we actually got a key portion of the Naruto manga spoiled because the manga was still ongoing. So you had a large chunk of the fandom wondering if Sasuke was going to live or die, or if Masashi Kishimoto's penchant for parallels would take place, where a lot of fans were wondering if Sasuke would fall in the final battle or if he would give Naruto his eye for redemption. Well, in one of those teasers that dropped, we not only saw that Sasuke was alive and well, but in one of the promotional images for Weekly Shonen Jump, it revealed that Sasuke would help protect the village when Naruto wasn't there, which at the time when this information came out in the manga, you know, we still had Sasuke on his emo trip of, I'm going to destroy the entire Hidden Leaf village, and we hadn't even made it out of the Kaguya fight yet when this actually dropped. That's not all. In one of the clips released for the movie, we see that Sasuke is in his Naruto the Last outfit and his Rinnegan wasn't shown, which led to a lot of people thinking that he might have lost the Rinnegan, since in the manga he couldn't turn off the Rinnegan. This of course was fixed when the movie dropped. Number 14, did you know that Sasuke, when it comes to his two brothers, the one by blood in Itachi and the one by interaction in Naruto, that Sasuke actually has a large bit of the fandom misunderstanding where his powers stand with these two characters at two key portions of the story. Now this isn't headcanon, this is all facts, so just bear with me for a second. It's starting with Itachi. You have a lot of fans who believe that when Sasuke got the Mangekyo Sharingan, he was stronger than Sick Itachi. However, in the Naruto Jinraiden story, The Day That the Wolf Howled, we literally have Sasuke as he's showing off his Mangekyo Sharingan and declaring the destruction of Konoha and naming Team Heavy into Team Taka. He reveals that he's weaker than the version of Itachi who he fought, stating that he's gonna surpass his brother in power, which obviously he does as his Mangekyo Sharingan gains more hatred during the events of the 5 Kage Summit. With Naruto, however, Sasuke actually briefly surpassed Naruto in power after the 4th Great Ninja War, but again, this is only briefly. Following the events of the 4th Ninja War, Naruto got a monster power up by getting the second half of the Nine-Tail sealed inside of him, giving him more chakra than he had before, chakra that can be used to boost his physical stats to ungodly levels if he doesn't use it for ninjutsu. By the events of Naruto the Last, the official movie novelization, which tells the complete version of the story that was not shown in the movie, we're told by the narrator of the story, an unbiased third party who is all-knowing for events of that particular story, that Sasuke at that moment in time was the strongest of Kakashi's students. This is likely due to Sasuke training after getting pardoned, and Naruto, while he was still training, was slowed down more by having to teach occasionally at the academy, whereas Sasuke had uninterrupted training in the time after he got pardoned. Number 15, did you know that Sasuke looked into the origins of the Akatsuki as one of the last things he did before he returned to Konoha? In the Akatsuki Hiden story, Evil Flowers in Full Bloom, Sasuke, as he's returning to Konoha, takes a detour when he finds two brothers who are training, and Sasuke helps train these two brothers, making them his two first students. Sasuke learns that they are children who have survived a killing by Itachi and Kisame back during the early days of the Akatsuki, where these two kids end up having their brothers being killed. This leads to Sasuke looking into the early days of the Akatsuki, where people like Itachi and Kisame and etc. were carrying out mercenary work, being hired by people like Inoki, who admitted during the 5 Kage summit that he had hired the Akatsuki in the past. Sasuke's whole reason for looking into the Akatsuki was to see if he could find the difference between himself and them before returning to Konoha. He wanted to see if there were moments that showed their humanity, and to see if any of them had someone like a Naruto, a luxury that Sasuke had, someone who never gave up on them, and to see if their lives could have been different even as they committed all the heinous acts that they had that one person that was in their corner. Which leads to Sasuke realizing that Akatsuki, for as wrong as they did things, they were still humans just like him. But the only difference is that he, when he went into the darkness, had Naruto and Sakura there to never give up their love for him. That's going to be it for 15 things you didn't know about Sasuke Uchiha. Let me know how many of these you did or did not know. And as a reminder, if we can hit 3,000 likes on this video within a week of uploading, I'll make 15 things about Naruto Uzumaki.